So we have previously learned how to solve quadratics two different ways. One by factoring, and the second by the square root property. And you might realize that not everything can be solved with those two different methods. So we're going to have a third method that we're going to learn called the quadratic formula that will actually work for all quadratic equations. And it says if A, B, and C are real numbers, A has to be something besides 0. A quadratic equation written in the standard form, where you have the ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, has solutions that look like this. X is going to be equal to a negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And as we do this, we're really going to use this when we work with this as the opposite of b. So if b is positive, this will be a negative. And if b itself is negative, then this is going to be a positive. So it's really not a negative b. It's the opposite of whatever b is. So let's go through and do a problem. So this first one, I have 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 is 0. It's in standard form. So a is going to be 2, b will be 3, and c will be equal to negative 5. We're going to fill that into our formula. So we'll say x is equal to the opposite of b. So since b is positive 3, this will be negative 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared. So that's going to be a 3 to the second power, which is 9. So I'm going to square that. And it's going to be minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 5. This is going to be all divided by 2 times 2 in the denominator. So we want to begin by simplifying. So when we simplify, we're going to need to use PEMDAS, and we're going to start with the inside of our radical. And inside of here we have 9 subtract 4 times 2 times negative 5. So we need to do our multiplication first, and it's going to be important. Do this multiplication first. So I'm going to have 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. So I'm going to have 9 minus a negative 40. And minus a negative is going to be plus 40. All over 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's add together, and we get negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 4. We know what the square root of 49 is, so x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 7 over 4. So now we have two answers. So note, two answers. So I'm going to have that x is equal to negative 3 plus 7 divided by 4. And I'm also going to have x is equal to negative 3 minus 7 divided by 4. So here I'm going to end up with 4 divided by 4, which is 1. Here I have a negative 3 and a negative 7, so that's negative 10 divided by 4, which is going to be negative 5/2. So here's my two answers, 1 and negative 5/2.